So, 7 p.m. last night, I don't know what I was doing. I was probably on my PS5 or whatever, or playing FIFA. And turns out that we ended up getting King's Rock banned from Sword and Shield. Now, it's very funny that I say we because no one got a suspect test for this. It was mostly just auto banned straight from the console of Sword and Shield OU or Gen A OU, whatever you guys like to call it. Um, yeah. So let's give a little background. So King's Rock has always been one of those items that has been discussed in this generation quite prominently. Um, it goes back like months and months ago, and I remember seeing a couple of discussion posts in regards to King's Rock, how it's very disruptive in regards to the potent users behind it. In my personal experience, I never used King's Rock, but I know playing up against certain Pokemon, there's only two Pokemon in particular that abuse King's Rock. One of them is Cloyster, because of skill link in the combination of Icicle Spear or Rock Blast, and beat up Weavile, which was not really prominent compared to Cloyster, but it was still able to abuse the item itself. Now you might be wondering, well, what's the problem with King's Rock? So King's Rock, the more times a Pokemon hits a Pokemon in a single turn, the higher the chance of the flinch rate. For example, let's say you're going up against a non-defensive Corviknight, or pretty much like a special defensive Corviknight, and Cloyster just self smashes on the switch, and then it begins the Icicle Spear. If it flinches the Corviknight after 5 barrages of hits, and it gets flinched, it can kill. So pretty much, it will kill on the next turn. So it'll pretty much force the opponent to either go back into switch-ins, try to switch out, intimidate, whatever, or just pretty much lose from there by luck. Now, it's kind of hard for me to say I support this for two reasons. One is that King's Rock in general is more of a luck, quote unquote, kind of item. Therefore, it's not really like very disruptive to me personally from my experience. I never really had an issue with King's Rock um, using it or against it. But I do see why people would argue to just get it out of the game. And smoke on OU, of course. I'm not talking about the official game. I'm talking about strictly the unofficial metagame that is Smogon overused. Generation 8. Um, the second reason is not a lot of Pokemon abuse it. Only Cloyster. So, obviously, the sample field when it comes to this item is very small. Cloyster has been gaining rapid usage because currently it is OLT, official ladder tournament, where people are trying to hit top 8 on the OU ladder for 1 week and try to maintain that position until they qualify. Cloyster is used on many hyper offensive teams. It's no stranger to OU. I mean, we've seen the rise of Cloyster due to heavy duty boots in this generation, but now with the addition of King's Rock, it becomes a bigger threat. And if your opponent doesn't have a counter or pretty much cannot hit it with a priority move that will kill it in one shot, it could be game over, because now the luck, quote unquote, factor or the flinching chances increases, and your opponent might be really down bad, or even you might be down bad if you're facing it closer with King's Rock. Let's discuss what they decided to go for. So they said that they received 86% support among qualified survey respondents. I wasn't that qualified respondent, but I did submit that vote, or not vote, but survey respond on Smoke on OU. I really like the survey, by the way. Shout outs to Finch. Obviously, it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient alone, but a strong majority absolutely prompted further council discussion. Okay, 7 councilmen. This is my biggest problem. If you're gonna autoban something, 7 people isn't gonna do it. I think you might have to get more representation, which actually just say that. Yeah, I think they mentioned it somewhere. We only had 7 members. Yeah, I think you might have to think about that. 7 people that can arguably change the way the metagame is formed by one item loss. You never know. I personally believe there should be more representation. I know that the survey is truly, like, I wouldn't say catered. It's mostly for the people who are very well experienced and qualified, which I believe that should be 100% true throughout forming a metagame or maintaining the status quo of a metagame. I do feel like if it's going to come down to an autoban, I feel like there should be more people deciding because those 7 people might not represent the 10,000 players or 200 people that usually end up qualifying for suspect Rex. And I know they can't do it because currently there's OLT, which is the official ladder tournament. I already mentioned that. People are trying to qualify, and you don't really implement a suspect test during a big tournament. Usually that doesn't happen, and historically it probably won't anytime soon. Autobans do, but suspect tests, no. So there was a lot of discussions in regards to Kings Rock being banned. I've noticed some discussion posts from like since April, March possibly, where people were complaining about Kings Rock. Although Kings Rocks wasn't prominent back then. And again, Cloister was the biggest menace when it came to using it. And there were people, I received dozens of messages expressing concern. That's pretty cool. People were reaching out, and I'm glad Finch does a good job at communicating with people. I do think this vote in particular was very. It wasn't transparent. I kind of saw this coming. It's kind of weird because I feel like, you know, it was bound to happen. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be out of left field though. I knew in the back of my mind that something like Kings Rock was generating a lot of discussion along with heavy duty boots, which was another very hot topic item. But Kings Rock was definitely up there in regards to metagame wise. I am still kind of iffy about this. Not just because it just got banned, but the way it it just straight up got banned. I think banning it is okay, in my personal opinion, but I think this could have been done better, especially since we're going through a tournament. So that's just me. Players have consistently discussed about this topic throughout generation. That's true. The topic has gained greater traction in recent months. That is true. Cloister's usage has doubled over the last couple of months. That makes sense because we're going through OLT, and if you're running hyper offense, there's usually a good chance that Cloister's going to be in it. It currently sees more usage than Blissey, Scizor, Zero Aura, Zapdos, Slowbro, and Slowking SSOU. And quite funny, if Cloister gets +2 and has King's Rock, it can technically take these two down if it gets flinched 2 or 3 times. These Pokemon getting overshadowed by Cloister, that's pretty funny, considering I hate all these Pokemon. Ulti has done a great job providing how effective and disruptive King's Rock strategies are. Yeah, we intend to improve our process and increase the size of the council. Yeah, I think this should definitely be one of the fixes up on how to, moving forward. There should be more voters. I think they should take qualified. Maybe what they can do is just not just increasing councilmen, but probably increase it to a pool of players who are very well experienced that contribute a lot to OU and our tournament winners overall. I think that's a pretty good way to get a bigger voting representation. Now, in regards to Kings Rock being banned, I don't know. I am, like I said, I guess I understand why they were trying to do this because Kings Rock implements a luck factor into deciding what games are you're going to win or what games you're straight up going to lose. But the problem with that is we still have Serene Grace. Like, we still have Pokemon that are niche at what they do but are extremely versatile and potent in the right hands. Cloister King's Rock, for example. We have Togekiss with Thunder Wave and Air Slash. We have Jirachi with Thunder Wave and Iron Head and Serene Grace for those 2 Pokemon. So I wouldn't say they banned something because it's niche, but it just seems kind of silly that one item is going to ruin an entire game. Because we still have stuff like Bright Powder in the game. We still have Pokemon that have Sandveil in combination with Bright Powder, like Garchomp. Like Garchomp Sandveil is actually, with Bright Powder, is actually starting to get some usage, what I've seen recently. Not as crazy as Cloister with King's Rock, but it's just there. Now, I know Smogon OU has done a really good job of trying to limit games. Well, not limit games, but trying to limit factors that completely use luck. I understand that, and that's completely fine with it. But I do feel like King's Rock isn't necessarily that crazy to warrant a ban, if you get what I mean. I think King's Rock, with one Pokemon or two Pokemon abusing it, is just fine. And obviously, I forgot that Cloyster also has access to Ice Shard, and it could flinch too. But it's very low percentage because Icicle Spear and Rock Blast hit 5 times, and those odds increase as you hit more and more. So there's that. Um, I don't know. I'm like pretty stumped. I'm leaning towards not. I don't know. I don't really agree with the way they did it in the first place, so that's kind of putting my opinion to the side a bit. I don't think King's Rock deserves a ban. I think if one Pokemon is using it to the fullest extent, and obviously Smogon Council is trying to limit luck into OU, which I understand is it's completely fine, very fine reasoning to do so. I don't think it warrants so much traction, so much swaying from the people that it warrants a ban. Now I know that the community has a lot of opinions on a lot of other Pokemon and items as well, but I don't think King's Rock deserves to get banned. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think they should have done better? I think they should have. So, peace.